that third year, they start to really, just like the Padres, Malpal. I think year 3 is the year where you really start to see an uptick, because they've got some guys that can hold them over. Patrick, hang tight. I'll get there. Yes, they do have good prospects. So let's talk about them. Let's talk about the 2 guys they got for Starling Marte. Everybody's disappointed they didn't get Perdomo. Everyone's disappointed they didn't get Robinson. It wasn't realistic, right? But I think the 2 guys that they got were probably the choices they wanted. They were probably their first picks. Because if you look at, I'll get to that later. If you look at how the Pirates are structured, a lot of their good talent is down at the low levels. These guys will allow them to all arrive at the same time, a la Toronto, a la San Diego. Okay? Let's talk about Brennan Malone. 19 years old. This kid was a potential. Boy, I watched a lot of clips of this kid. He throws the ball hard. And there's cut on it as well. Right-handed pitcher. Was a potential first-round pick last year. Was rated the 20th best prospect in last year's draft. And the 3rd best prep pitcher in his class. He slid to 33 because everybody was pretty sure he was going to go with a highly touted scholarship and join the Tar Heels. Arnie's school. He didn't. 2.02 million, full slot amount. He chose to go to the Diamondbacks. You know what? I love all the. I defected for a reason, Malpal. I'm a Cubs. Of course, you know, I just shot myself in the other foot. I'm a Cubs fan now. But I still do. When the Pirates do well, I want them to do well. It's weird having 2 teams in the same division. I know, but you know what? I'm a weird guy. So anyway, so Brennan Malone, this kid. Do yourself a favor. Go watch some clips of this kid. He throws the ball really hard. 91 to 94 in a regular, can get up to 96. He's got cut on it. This says 97. The clips I saw showed 96, but whatever. We're talking about, 96, 97 miles an hour is the top out. They say he has the ability to go deep in games. He's got a built-in out pitch and a slider, and he's developing his changeup. Again, at 19 years old, you'd expect some of that, right? The Pirates will use extreme caution with him. I'm hoping he gets to play in Morgantown this year, which is the shortstop low A affiliate for the Pirates. I will absolutely go see him if he's pitching in Morgantown. Lenny, welcome. You missed a good part. Brennan Malone is, again, at this early development, being a 3-pitch pitcher, he's got first-round talent. If he would have, again, had the Cush scholarship at North Carolina, but chose to go professional. Brennan Malone. Go watch his clips. They're really impressive. I should have copy-pasted it, but sorry. I'll send you some later. So the other thing about Malone that I like, last year the Pirates drafted Quinn Priester, the top-rated prep pitcher. And these 2 guys, so basically that gives the Pirates 2 of the top 3 prep pitchers in the 2019 draft. And really a couple of really good young arms. They will treat these guys with extreme caution. Morgantown's going to have a really good, so it's not Morgantown. It's the West Virginia Black Bears, I think. But their low A team will be really freaking good this year. I plan to go home and watch a couple games. Beautiful stadium, by the way. The other guy, so Malone, as already said this morning, you're looking at 2022, maybe 2023. The Pirates are really cautious with their prospects. But the reason I like it is because these guys are teamed up together, him and Priester. So it'll be really cool to see those guys team up as a 1-2 combination in the majors. Hopefully, God willing, the creek don't rise, as they say in West Virginia. But the other guy that I really like as well, once you do your research on him, is I don't know how to say his name properly, Liover Peguero. So Peguero is also 19. He's a shortstop. He's a little bit more seasoned at 19 years old. He's played 101 professional games in the Dominican Summer League. He had a 354 OBP and a 428 slug with a 5 to 18 homer to stolen base rate. So this guy has a lot of potential. Some things I haven't heard us talk about on this great network, being the Lenny Melnick Fantasy Sports Network. Peguero was named the prospect of the year in the Pioneer last year of any position. So really high praise. MLB Pipeline, quote, Peguero has a chance to be a special hitter. He has an impactful swing from the right side of the plate with plus bat speed that enables him to smash good velocity and make consistent barrel contact. He's already developing some game power, with more to come as he adds strength to his projectable frame. Obviously, I'm not a great reader. Don't hate me for it. Anyway, really interesting is this guy. You think about him. Again, O'Neal Cruz is, hey, King Hat, welcome. Thanks for showing yourself. I appreciate it. You put him with O'Neal Cruz, and you put the two pitchers, Malone and Priester, with I'm freaking spacing on his name. Anyway, you got Travis Swaggerty in there. You have a good young core for the Pirates moving forward. I like what they're doing. Yes, you're right, guys. It's 2 or 3 years away. But that's okay, because they've sucked for 30. And now they're going to try and get better. I hope. It gives me hope for the future for the Pirates. Salute to that. Basils Hayden tonight, guys. It's not bad. All right. So here's what here's what we're here for. Let's talk about middle infielders. I love this stuff, okay? Here's how I do it personally. So I got to tell a story. Arnie's my buddy. Arnie's my boy. I get on this morning. He's so friggin' good. If you guys don't know who I'm talking about, I got a couple new people in here. Arnie Jones. Arnie's Fantasy World of Sports. He follows Lenny a lot of mornings. Of course, Lenny's the legend. Everybody knows and loves Lenny. 9 o'clock every weekday. It is really radio gold. It is my favorite show. And I'm not just saying that, Lenny. I love you. But so I get on this morning. It's funny because you do all this work, right? I start, like tonight, I'll start doing my next week's show. It's really hard. It gets emotional. Okay? Because I spent, literally, for one of these shows, I probably spend between 5 and 10 hours depending on the show. And that's no bullshit. Because I love it, and it's fun. So I get on this morning. I've got all this stuff ready for the middle infield position. I get on this morning. Listen to Lenny. Everything's great. Love it, as usual. Thank you, legend. Arnie comes on at 9. He's talking second base. Son of a biscuit. I get mad. He take this shit personally. So then I thought Arnie was mad at me. Arnie's my buddy. I love Arnie. So I'm trying to get a hold of Arnie because we were supposed to do co-shows tonight. He's really busy right now. It's not happening. We're going to have to wait till next week. Boo-hoo. Anyway, Arnie and I are all good. I talked to him tonight. We got a great show planned for next week. Arnie talked about second baseman today. I'm going to talk about it a little differently because we all think differently, right? Yes, Patrick, Francisco Lindor, numero uno, ADP 7.7. I think he gets traded. I think he's a Red in the next couple weeks. Lenny's talked about this. I'm not breaking news. The Reds love Senzel. The Reds have the firepower to get it done. I think it's a great fit. I love Lindor. Number 2. Okay, so here's how I'm going to do this. Sorry, I didn't set this up very well. I'm going to break this down into tiers. My tiers. This is meant to be rigid, okay? There's a lot. We're really early on, but we're not really early on, right? We're 3 weeks away from pitchers and catchers. I want to set this up rigidly so when we come back around to it in a month, we can hone in on it, okay? So I broke these guys into tiers anywhere between 4 and 10. And we're going to talk about them and why I have them in each tier versus others. We're trying to identify value. That's the biggest thing here. We're trying to get guys in tiers where maybe their ADP says they don't belong, if that makes sense to you, right? So here's the first tier. I'm going to read it to you. I'm going to give you their ADP, and then we're going to talk about these guys a little bit. Lindor, number 1, ADP 7.7, first round. Trevor Story, number 2, ADP 11.3, first round. Trey Turner, ADP 13, second round. I'm going on 12 team, okay? That's what I go off. Number 4 in this tier, Alex Bregman, 7.7. Side note, same ADP as Francisco Lindor for now. Actually, it's probably changed. That's not going to be a straight up trade, Patrick. So, that's your first tier, those 4 players. Why are those guys a tier? Well, you see I've put Bregman down below those other 2. Again, that's what's great about doing this early on. You could track who you value, right? Because you're splitting hairs if you're talking about between pick 7 and between pick 13. Again, I'm a little bit different because I try and project to the end of the year. I don't think about the right now, which we all should be doing, right? If you think about it, aren't you trying to prognosticate who's going to do well this year? So who's going to put up the numbers at the end of the year? I have a really hard time. Staying patient as a hyperactive owner. You guys see how I operate as a hyperactive owner throughout the course of the year. But a lot of these guys, I could sit here and name 3 or 4 guys last year that I made mistakes in dropping early on. Okay? Who ended up having pretty damn good years. It's all about being patient with some of these guys. So let's talk about these 4 guys. Again, I told you last week, because Bregman is also third base eligible. Lenny, cheers to that. I'll never talk politics, but I love you. I am literally having a sip for you, sir. So, the first 4 guys. These are all first round type guys, right? Lindor, Story, Turner, and Bregman. You got to admit when you're wrong. Arnie and I sat here last year and talked about how we thought Trevor Story was overrated. He's not. Okay? I wasn't an advocate for him last year. But